Okay, what's good? It's your boy, Bob Lamb. We're here to talk about if Whole Lotta Red is a classic. Now, I don't know if it's a classic just yet, but I think we've already had this discussion. I mean, all of the accolades that it's gotten, on top of all of the hate that it got at the very beginning, and then it's long surpassed that shit. Now everybody came back, even Aiden Ross, like the day that it dropped. Even I myself, I wasn't hating on it, but I was like, this is a bit different. Like it was like a slap to the face. You're like, what the fuck is this, bro? This isn't what we were looking for with Whole Lotta Red. But it looks like it's the hero that we needed, not that we wanted. I don't know what the quote is. I think that it might not be a classic just yet because it's only been out a whole year and a half. So a classic, like, I don't know how many years. It's like an antique, right? An antique car is 25 years. Now in the music game, especially with how frequently artists drop music, I don't think it's a classic just yet. Objectively, I think it will go down as a classic, like wholeheartedly 100% though, because of the impact that it made. Now, something that we have to compare it to though is Eternal Take. Now I know we always like put Uzi and Cardi up against each other because they were homies and whatnot, but I even made a video back in the day after Eternal Take dropped. I was like, this shit a classic, but looking back, I didn't let it digest enough before I designated it a classic. I don't think Eternal Take, the music, was a classic. I think the whole era was classic, whereas Cardi, I think, capitalized successfully with not only the Whole Lotta Red era, like the Whole Lotta Red V1 leaks, that was a classic itself. Like everyone knows that, even non-Cardi fans, right? They fuck with that type of music. That's why they were hating on Whole Lotta Red when it actually came out. Same thing with Whole Lotta Eternal Take leaks. That's a classic, but the actual Eternal Take was not a classic to me. So, and it did not suck. Atarix, it did not suck. Eternal Take was still solid, but I was listening to Low Main today while I was working out. I was like, this ain't it. I'm sorry. Like it's a cool song, but like it wasn't like Uzi caliber. So, Whole Lotta Red. Let's react to what Academics and Lil Yachty said, and they even discussed some of Cardi's new music. They didn't really give us any adjectives, but they gave us some facial expressions. And you know that, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's like 70% of communication is non-verbal. Like, you see my eyes and shit? Yeah. So let's see what Academics said.
I will tell y'all some stuff. Me and Cardi been talking recently. Salute to Cardi. Cardi's the guy. Yo, one thing I didn't bring up on the podcast with me and Yachty, but yo, like Yachty said some dope shit, and I don't think this is private, so I think I can say it. And I should have brought it up, bro. He said to me, he's like, I wonder if you've noticed that Whole Lotta Red has been the album that has stood the test of time. Whole Lotta Red is a classic. It's lasted. It's great. And Cardi, without doing shit, Cardi is the guy again. And I'm like, He's like,
I don't know about again. Like I feel like now he is the guy. Whereas before, I feel like Uzi kind of overshadowed him a bit. But let's continue.
Right now, Cardi is the it nigga. I think that was like a really full circle moment. Cause like, remember some people were kind of getting that Whole Lotta Red at first. They're like, yo, Cardi's just a nigga who's the leader right now. You feel me? Well, I think because the album lived so well with when Cardi went on tour, man. Like Cardi went on tour and that album just lived amazingly, bro. Like that.
I think, just quick note, that Whole Lotta Red was even better than a lot of other rap albums because he actually personifies what he's rapping about. In the sense of like, you know, After Hours, how The Weeknd turned into like that whole, it almost reminded me of like Michael Jackson 80s singer doing hella drugs. Not necessarily that Michael Jackson did drugs. I don't know if he did drugs or not, but you get the point. You know, plastic surgery and all types of shit like that. Cardi legit turned into a vampire, and I think that's why. Like, Uzi tried to do it with the aliens in Eternal Take, getting abducted and whatever, molested by aliens. It just didn't work. It didn't work. Like, the skits were cool and the songs, but I don't know, aside from the samples and instrumental sounding video game alien-esque, he just didn't pull it off as well as Cardi did.
The album just like lived well, and like people just started appreciating it more. And usually in this we really started off the conversation by talking about albums that come and go, and he was just saying, yo, Cardi's album didn't come and go. It's like, yo, Whole Lotta Red has lasted. Whole Lotta Red has been appreciated. Whole Lotta Red caused an entire tour. Like, Cardi's just on a whole different shit. He said some stuff about Cardi's new music. I don't even know if I
new music.
say it, bro. He's like, yo, Cardi's new music. Like, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it right now. Yeah. Young boy.
Okay, so we got confirmation that Cardi is working on new music. It is called Music, right? From his I don't know who the I think it was Double XL. I'm not an Uzi hater. Everyone would agree that Whole Lotta Red is better than Eternal Take. I'm sorry. Love is Rage 2, though, to me, I would go back to Love is Rage 2 over Whole Lotta Red. So I don't want to hear nothing about that shit. Okay, people are just whack. People just because you can give an honest opinion that may be negative about somebody and not be a hater. Hating is like irrational and irrational, illogical statements about somebody based off emotion. I'm simply telling you how I feel, or like in a logical sense. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. You don't get it. But let's talk about how Whole Lotta Red is a classic, because, and here's another reason why I think it's more of a classic than Eternal Take. It influenced so many artists, whereas again, I don't think Uzi's did that. However, Love is Rage 2 and whatever, all of Uzi's mumble rap shit, I think that started a whole wave with the oh yeah flows. But you know, we got artists underneath Cardi with a Whole Lotta Red, you know, like Trippie Redd even dropped Trip at Night. I mean, obviously they're in the same class, but Trip at Night would not exist. Actually, it might, because Miss the Rage was a rage beat. And they were like different types, but Cardi like almost popularized this rage sound. You know what? I'm gonna give Trippie his flowers. He might have made that album with or without Cardi. I don't know. But Yeet and a lot of the underground, Cardi is a goat to them and influences all of them. That's why it's a classic. Without Whole Lotta Red, the whole underground would sound completely different. We know that. So easy as pie. Johnny Saga says, I'm not that into Cardi, but his beat selection and his flows are super dope, fun to vibe with. His influence can't be ignored. Personally, I like Uzi more. Overall, I tell you all the time, as like an artist from like entire discographies, I think Uzi is better. I like Uzi. But right now, Cardi is over Uzi, man. I think the narrative is that Uzi is washed. Now, I'm talking about objectively, not my opinion. We'll see. But Whole Lotta Red is a classic. And I think that Rolling Stone gave it like number 129 on its list, but we'll talk about that in a second.